Shruti-putra Adrasupam Rupam Tasagrajamurim Maturim Gushvaratim Radha Kundamadevayam Radhika Bhagavasam Gakto Yasa Pratikakaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosam Gurave Gaurachandrai Radhikai Tadai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktai Tad Bhaktaya Namo Ananda Lilamaya Vigrahai Prema Bhadivisthavi Sundarai Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Bhaktya Vina Aparana Lakshay Chitta Sakamari Kalankamari Vita Mahina Sharanam Prapanya Vinde Namaste Janarinda Vinde Namaste Janarinda Govinda Ramo Ramaraviji Govinda Ramo Ramaraviji Govinda Ramo Ramaraviji Govinda Ramo Ramaraviji Hey Krishna Hey Radha Hey Sakhi Govinda Ramo Ramaraviji Shyam Sundar Shikanta Shikar Smahasumuli Manora Radhikas Kumam Kripanidhe Sopriya Charna Kim Karim Kuru Tavaivasmi Nadivami Tayavana Divikaya Devi Tam Namah Janantikam. First of all, I have placed a standard of Gosvami, my heart like flowers thousands of times, the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev, Asmadeva Paramaradatim Guru Bhagavana, Nitrila Pravishta Om Vishnupada, Ashtodara Satasri, Rupa Acharya Varya, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev, my Paramasti Gurudev, my Param Pratpara Gurudev, and all of our Sri Rupa Gaudiya Guru Param. And finally, I offer my pranam to all my dear brothers and sisters, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas, Vancha Kalpataru. By the causes of our Sri Guru and Gauranga, we have been hearing a little about the history, the tradition, the practice and the theory of drama in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. That's why this place is called Shravanam. Sravanam means hearing and Am means little. So here we hear a little, we cannot. Not so much time to go into detail. But we hope that we can also Sravan Alpa, just hear a little. Real hearing. You know what hearing means? Parkanam naunam Sravana antakaranam shuddhyatam apiksha. Shuddhej antakarane Rupa Shravanena tad udoy yogyata bhavati. In Sri Bhakti Sandarbha, Sri Goswami very meticulously described and defined each and every anga of pure bhakti. It's very important to hear and try to understand what he's saying, so that you can discover whether or not you are practicing bhakti. He said, Pratama, in the beginning, the ability just to hear the name of Krishna depends on the shuddhata of the antakarana. That means the purity of the heart. So, until the heart has become purified of the lower gunas, until it becomes very subtle, one cannot actually hear the name. If we have the conception that we are producing this name, this is now aparat. But when the chitta becomes steady, the mind becomes very steady, then one can understand, this ahankara vimudatva kartami kimanyate, being ruled by ego, I thought I was doing everything. This mentality is wrong. And when the chitta becomes steady, then we realize, only the energies of Krishna, they're moving everywhere. I am not the doer. His external energy. And the chanting of the holy name is bhakti. It is the vilas of Swarup Shakti. It's the play of the internal potency. Then the devotee experiences, I am not chanting, I am not hearing, I am not the doer, but the Swarup Shakti, Krishna's internal potency, is appearing in my ears and appearing on my tongue. Then, when he hears about the name and the form of Krishna, then in that purified heart, he begins to see tad yogyata uday yogyata bhavati. The qualification comes that when you hear about the beauty of Krishna, that beautiful form of Krishna appears reflected in your chitta. That is called Rupa Shravanam. After that, Gun Shravanam. Then his qualities appear in a sequence. Nama Rupa Chaitadi Sukirtanama. So this is actually the experience of bhakti. If we are chanting Harinam, hearing about the beauty of Krishna, and that's not appearing in our hearts. So, astonishingly beautiful. Then, actually, we have not entered into Shuddha Bhakti yet. We are only making some sukriti, developing some sanskar, making some progress slowly in surrendering. And there's presence of some apparats, offenses. So we should not try to get ahead of ourselves and try to meditate on Siddha Deha when even you cannot have experienced the anubhuti, realization of Krishna's form. Realization of your own form will come later. First realize Krishna's form and qualities and associates. And then among those associates you can go among them and follow them. That is Raganuga Bhakti. It means actually following the associates, not making stuff up in your mind and following that. So, we come here, we want to do what? Shravanam. Listen a little. Because to hear a little means that when we hear, then have some spurti of Krishna. So if anyone can come here, actually do Shravanam, then their festival was successful. we are hearing about drama. Yesterday we were discussing how the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Mayapur, they came together in that very important place, Brajapatana, the Chandrasekhar Bhavan, the house of Chandrasekhar. Nityananda Prabhu played the role of Purnamasi Yogamaya. Advaita Charya is playing the role of Krishna. Mahaprabhu is playing the role of Radharani herself. And the wives and family members of the devotees who are in the drama, they're sitting in the audience and watching. So this is actually described in the Chaitanya Chandradaya Natakam. So this is a Natakam inside a Natakam. This little background of Chaitanya Chandradaya Natakam, it was composed by Kavi Karnapur. So it's such an astonishing work of art. The architecture of the drama is truly elegant. How did he become blessed with such skill? When Kavi Karnapur was a little baby, then his father brought him and placed him at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu stuck out his big toe and the baby sucked on Mahaprabhu's big toe. So he literally tasted the nectar of Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. So when he was a little baby, he was blessed by Mahaprabhu, and when he became mature, then he became like an endless current of beautiful katha. And that was essential, because when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared from this world in Jagannath Puri, then one of his Vishesh Kripa Bhaktras, that means special object of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, was the king of Orissa at that time, Prataparudra Maharaj. So when the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became unmanifest from our vision, then Prataparudra Maharaj was burning in separation from Mahaprabhu. So Kavi Karnapur wrote this drama for the king to keep him alive. That's why he wrote this. Because he knew that the king, he may die, but if you hear or see a very beautiful drama about Gaur Leela, it will save his life. That nectar will revive him. So we have said several times that in Gaudiya Sampradaya, Natakam is not a light amusement or entertainment. It's a matter of life and death for those who are sick. Literally, in this case of Chaitanya Chandradaya Natakam. We know that Lalita-Madhav of Rupa Goswami, one day he came to Radhakund where Raghunatha Das Goswami was doing bhajan, and he gave his Lalita-Madhav copy. And Raghunatha Das Goswami began to read it, and he was crying, weeping, rolling on the ground helplessly. He could not sleep at night, he was not eating, because the separation in Lalita-Madhav is so intense. And for so many days he did not eat or sleep. And the other Goswamis, they had a fear that he may die. So then Rupa Goswami, he wrote Dan-Keli comedy. So Dan-Keli comedy is a comedy. It's very funny. So Rupa Goswami came to him and said, give me that Lalita-Madhav, but he was holding it next to his heart, he wouldn't let it go. And Rupa Goswami said, I have another drama here. They said, oh, okay. So they exchanged dramas. Then when Raghunatha Das Goswami began to read the beautiful Dan-Keli comedy, which is a pastime of Krishna, acting as a customs and excise officer. That means exacting the toll from the gopis, customs. Because in those days, if anyone wanted to travel through any district carrying some wealth, they'd have to pay a tax on it for transporting it through that district. So, and it's also like that today. You can't move large amounts of gold from one country to another without paying tax and so on. So, Raghunatha Das Goswami, when he began to read this, then he began to laugh. He was relishing the Madhurya Rasa mixed with Hasya Rasa. And the Sambhog Rasa meeting. He became joyful, and at night he could sleep and he could take some prasadam. So in this way, by the dramas, one drama almost killed him and another drama saved his life. See, Raghunatha Das Goswami himself wrote, Navam divyam kavyam swakritamatulam natatakulam prahili gudata saki ruchinavina dvanigati snehulasa Lalita Prayojan balat salajja gandhavam sarasam asakrit shikshayat imam. He's saying, when will that day come when Lalita Saki will be very kind to me? She'll take me by the hand and bring me into the company of Srimati Radhika and say, Oh Radhika, this Apurva Lavanyavati, this unprecedentedly lustrous young gopi named Ratimanjari, I have brought her here to be your maidservant. So be merciful to her and teach her how to play on the veena. So then Radharani will take the Ratimanjari to a quiet, lonely place and give her lessons on playing the veena. But she's not teaching her how to play the veena. She's teaching her how to play in such a way that the raga, the melody she's playing, is a plucking on the heartstrings of Krishna. Praheli Gurata. Lalita Saki will say, Oh Radhika, teach her Praheli. That means riddles. So that during the Rasa Leela, after they become tired from dancing and Radha and Krishna sit down on the Ratna Vedi and the Sakis and Manjaris surround them, they're laughing and joking together. So then the Manjaris, they can try to outwit Krishna by using the clever Praheli, the clever riddles that Radharani has taught them. Radharani himself could have this discussion with Krishna, but it looks better if her maid servants defeat him, then it makes her look even better. So then the maid servants come to Krishna and say, Krishna, can you answer our Praheli? Krishna, sure. What is it? What is Bal and Brida? That means young and old, and also Mukta and Bandha, liberated and bound, and also Shuddha and Tama, pure and in ignorance. How can you answer the question? How can something be young and old, bound and liberated, and also pure and in ignorance? If you're pure, you can't be in ignorance. If you're ignorant, you can't be pure. So then Krishna was scratching his head. Then somebody said, I know! Radharani is very the braid of Radharani. Why? Because Bal means young. So Radharani, her hair is young, she's young, her hair is young. Right? Her hair is not white, she has no great hairs. But Brida means fully grown. So her Vaini is young, but fully grown. Very, very long. And also Mukta and Bandha. It's bound, but when she plays with Sri Krishna in the Kunja, and then she experiences the Bhav Alankaras, then her hair comes open by itself. And all the flowers fall down and make a Pushpanjali on Krishna. So, it's Mukta and Bandha, bound and liberated, free at the same time. And also, Shuddha and Tama. Shuddha means her hair is pure, clean, pure. But also Tama. Tama means black. So black. So in this way, the Krishna and the Sakis, they're all speaking, laughing and joking together. So Raghunatha Das Goswami is saying, and when will Lalita tell Radhika? Kadasneyo lasa Lalita Lalita Preranabalat. Lalita will say, oh Radhika, I know that you have written a very beautiful natakam, a drama. Why don't you teach this Manjari how to play a role in your drama? Because we discussed before, dramas are for two things. One, to give delight. And another, to chasten the audience, to make them chaste. To do the right thing. So Radhika makes some dramas, and in the drama, the hero and the heroine, they may have different names. But it's all just a metaphor or an analogy for Radha and Krishna themselves. And by watching it, Krishna can be entertained, he can be delighted, and he can also be chastened. He can learn a lesson about pure love. And if you don't have one pointed, Lalita says to Krishna, oh Krishna, you have to surrender to the Ananya Priti, one pointed affection. That is our policy, because we never associate with someone who cannot dedicate all their love to just one person. So through the drama, they also teach Krishna about this, and also in the drama there are some warnings about what can happen to those who don't follow this path of pure love, Ananya Priti. Drama is a good way, but the man is also educate Krishna. Because it's better to learn by seeing a drama than in real life. So, yesterday we came to the point where in this drama there are two characters, and they're like narrators. They're narrating parts of the story before and afterwards, scenes that can be acted out on the stage. They have a discussion so the audience knows what's going on. So one of them is the love personified, and the other one is friendship personified. So love and friendship, they're very close to each other, and they're talking and introducing. They're watching the characters from the side of the stage. So at this point, Narad Muni has arrived in Vrindavan. We discussed yesterday. And he's absorbed in the beauty of Vrindavan. So we should all come now at once to Vrindavan. What kind of place is this Vrindavan? Vrindavan has so many flowers, and herbs, and different bushes, and they're luminous. Various colors. In the dark, when the sun goes down, it becomes dark at night. The forest is alive with so many luminous colors, glowing, different flowers. But the problem with this is, if anyone would try to sneak through the forest for a secret meeting, that is called Avisar. If a heroine will go in Avisar, then even from far away she'll be seen. So Vrinda Devi has planted around the Nandagaon and around Yavat, the forest immediately all around them are tamal trees. Tamal trees are notoriously dark. No rays of light can enter into the forest of tamal. So the villages are surrounded by tamal trees, and then all the luminous herbs and flowers are beyond the tamal trees. So that the gopis can sneak out from their houses, disappear into the darkness, and then they go into the magical beauty of the colored forest. Vrinda Devi has made Vrindavan in such a way that here and there are tamal trees and kadamba trees, and they're embracing each other. Has anyone been to Kadamba Kandi? You've seen there. Even if a tamal tree is about 10 meters away, then the kadamba tree is reaching out with the branches like this and embracing. So beautiful. But why has Vrinda Devi made tamal and kadamba in pairs here and there throughout Vrindavan? Because when Krishna is playing in the forest, Viharati Hari Sarasavasante, then Krishna's dancing with one gopi here, embracing another gopi there, having a conversation with another gopi there. So those gopis, they may look and they may see Krishna secretly meeting with another gopi. So Vrinda Devi has made the Tamal and Kadamba trees embracing each other here and there in Vrindavan. So when they're meeting with Krishna, and then if Krishna will come with another gopi, they look. And then they see, oh, it's a Tamal and Kadamba tree. So in this way, Vrinda Devi is one prakash of Yoga Maya. She's decorated in the forest in such a way as to help Krishna, because there are different kinds of sakis, and Vrinda Devi is in the category of saki. Not Nitya Saki, Prana Saki, or Priya Saki, or Paramprasa Saki, but Saki. And in that category, they love Radha and Krishna, but leaning towards Krishna. So Vrinda Devi has decorated the forest in such a way to cover up for Krishna's occasional infidelities. Not only that, but if Krishna will be meeting with one gopi in a kunj, and he's coming in another form with another gopi there, then that gopi may say, oh, let's go inside this kunj. But then he's in that same kunj with another gopi, will be a big problem. So then, on the order of Vrinda Devi, swarms of bumblebees, they hover around the entrances to the kunjas. So then the gopis are notoriously famous for being afraid of bumblebees. That's how Krishna, in Rasa Lila, he relishes all the rasas. So one of the rasas is Bhayanak Ras, the rasa of fear. How does he relish that? Krishna pushes a gopi into a kunj, but there are all bumblebees in there, and she's going like this. And she feels fear. So this is how all rasas are there in Rasa Lila. So the bumblebees, they hover around the entrance to a kunj, then that other gopi will never say, let's go there. Sometimes Krishna will be playing with one gopi in a kunj and speaking with her, and in another kunj, their beautiful, the pastimes are going on, their loving pastimes are going on. So at that time, then that other gopi who's meeting with Krishna, she may call out with great joy. But the other gopi who hears that sound, what's that? And she hears, ooh, ooh. Oh, it's just Kukubai. So in this way, Vrinda Devi has made the sounds of the birds, like the ecstatic sounds of Braja Gopis here and there, to cover for Krishna. When the Rasa Lila is going on. So Vrindavan is, when we say forest of Vrindavan, this is an extraordinary manifestation. It is actually the effulgence of Radha Krishna's love has condensed and become the forest of Vrindavan, presided over by Vrinda Devi, who has made everything absolutely perfect for their beautiful pastimes. So we described yesterday how Krishna, he came and through the forest with his friend, hey, where's Madhubanga? Subal, Sridham, go and look for him. So they're looking, then suddenly Madhubanga, he arrived there. He said, help me my friend. What's wrong? I just saw one mystic yogini with 5 beautiful ladies, and they were going to the temple of Gopeshwar Mahadev. I thought they will capture me to offer me as a human sacrifice. Subal said, no, that was Purnamasi Yoga Maya Devi. Because their mother-in-laws have kept them all in the house, but they've been allowed to leave only to worship Gopeshwar Mahadev under supervision of a Gurujan, under the supervision of an elderly person who can be trusted. So then Madhavanga said, very good. Now they will come in the trap of my friend. So then he said, oh, they're coming this way, quickly, let's hide and watch what they're doing. So then Krishna and Subal, Madhumanga, they were hiding, and then Srimati Radhika came into that part of the forest with her sakis. Who is Radhika? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is playing the role of Radhika in this drama in Chandrasekhar. But the devotees are seeing. They're not seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They're seeing, actually it's Srimati Radhika. Actually. Just like at Rath Yatra, when Mahaprabhu was dancing at Rath Yatra, sometimes he would stop and look at Lord Jagannath and speak in the voice of Radhika. Radha Baba Veshi Prabhu Hoili Se Murti Nityananda Durideke Karile Nastuti. So So Kaviraj Goswami said, he was so absorbed in Radha Bhav that he manifested actually the fall of Radhika. And Nityananda Prabhu, whose Balaram doesn't go close. So Nityananda Duri Deke, Karalena Stuti, Nityananda Prabhu stood far away and was offering prayers. So Mahaprabhu, they're seeing actually all the characters. And Radhika now enters the stage with her Sakhis. They're carrying different baskets and pots with all the paraphernalia for the puja. Radharani said, "Oh Sakhis, do you have all the paraphernalia for the puja?" One of the Sakhis said, "We have everything except for the flowers. Because if we brought the flowers with us from our home, by the time you arrive here, they would have wilted. So we thought we'll bring everything, and then when we get closer to Gopishwar Mahadev, we'll pick the fresh flowers there and make the offering directly." So then Radhika said, "Oh, that's perfect. So where can we find some flowers? Oh look, there's a grove of labanga flowers, just very nearby, let's go there." Purnamasi Devi said, "Wait, that grove of labanga flowers is very, very dear to Krishna. If you pick those flowers, and he may be there, then I won't be able to protect you." Lalita Sakhi said, "Then you wait here, we'll go, I'll protect her. We have nothing to fear from this Durta." You know Durta? Cunning, cheating person. So then Lalita and Radhika and the Sakhis, they went into that grove of labanga flowers and they began picking there. So while she's picking, Krishna from his hidden place, he's looking at Radhika and completely bewildered by her beauty. What is that? What am I seeing? Is this a figure in a painting that's been painted by Cupid himself? Is this a beautiful jasmine vine that's been designed by Vishwakarma? Is this the goddess of sweetness who has emanated after churning the ocean of beauty? When I look at her, I feel as if I'm seeing her for the first time. Every time I see her, it's as if I've never seen her before. Krishna is so absorbed in Radhika's beauty. So then, Radhika came to one vine and she was picking the flowers, but some bumblebees came out. And she started to... So, when Krishna saw this, then his heart was trembling. He said, "Look, when her eyes are trembling and she's afraid, and putting her head down and looking here and there, how beautiful she looks." So see how the bumblebees even are serving Radha and Krishna, because the bumblebees make the frightened look, and when the heroine has a frightened look in her eyes, then it's very attractive to the hero. You know, just like when Krishna captured Rukmini's brother. He captured him and he grabbed him and he drew his sword, and he had no intention of killing him. He just did it because he wanted to see Rukmini's eyes become full of fear, because the heroine looks more beautiful with the frightened eyes. So, this is an example from Dramas given by Srila Rupa Goswami. So you can imagine, in Vrindavan, how more beautiful Radhika looks when she's a Chakita. It's one of the Bhav Alankars. Chakita. It needs to become startled, and the eyes become like a doe, a female deer in the forest. When they're startled, they become very big and looking here and there. So Krishna is just astonished. He's totally forgotten what he was supposed to do. Because his plan was to arrest Radharani for picking his flowers, but he's just stunned. So then Madhavan said, "Now's your chance, go, 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 go." He broke Krishna out of his trance. So then Krishna, he came out from the bushes and approached him. "Oh Lalita, you're so bold, so arrogant. Who do you girls think you are, strutting here and there, so proud of your beauty, destroying everything? picking my flowers and fruits and damaging the bushes in my forest. So then Krishna said, you will have to pay me a fine for this stealing. So then Purnamasi Devi, the girls were picking the flowers and dropping them in their anchals, like this. So then Purnamasi, she quickly just scooped the flowers from the anchal of each gopi and offered them, scattered them all over the ground at Krishna's lotus feet. So then Radharani said, oh, noble mother, why did you do that? These flowers, they were for the worship of Gopeshwar Mahadev. And you've dropped them on the ground here. Everything is completely crooked in Vrindavan. Actually, they were picked for Krishna. But she's acting, this is the Bhangya-bhav, the speciality of Parakya Rasa. Everything, Prem ki nadi sara otavahira. In Prayojan he said, the rivers flow this way, but the river of Prem flows against the current. In a very crooked way. So each and every word Krishna is saying and Radhika is saying, actually, what they really mean is, I love you. But praying cannot be expressed. It's so intense and it comes out in many crooked ways. In the form of an argument. It's called Ukti Pratyukti. Ukti Pratyukti. Statements and counter-statements. Statements and counter-statements. Very fast. And it's an Anubhav. Anubhav means an outer action which is Udbhasvara, which reveals the love which is being felt within. So then Subha, he said, listen, King Kamadev owns this forest and he's given all these flowers to my friend. So if you steal them, if you pick any of them, then he'll have to punish you and you'll have to pay a fine. So then the gopi said, but look, we picked these flowers there to offer to Lord Shiva. So Madhu says, you fools, Lord Shiva is right here. And pointed to Krishna. You say you're picking flowers to worship Shiva, Shiva's right here. Well, Shiva means auspicious. So what is more auspicious? If the gopis will give their flowers and in their pots they have kumkum, kasturi, aguru, all the different unguents which are used in Nikunja Lila. Is it better if they smear these on Gopeshwar Mahadev or on Krishna? So Madhu said, you want to worship Shiva? Lord Shiva's right here. Worship him. So then the gopi said, no, we mean Mahakal. We want to worship Mahakal. So Mahakal means that Lord Shiva is Kal Purush, time personified, great time, who brings the death to everyone. He's the destroyer. Madhu said, he is Mahakal. Maha means effulgent and Kal means dark. He's Mahakal. Don't you know that when he enters in the forest, the whole of Vrindavan becomes imbued with his Sham complexion, with his Sham aura everywhere. He is Mahakal. Gopi said, no, we're going to worship Chandramoli. Chandramoli is the name for Lord Shiva, who has a moon on his crest. Madhu said, he's also Chandramoli. Look, because the eye of a peacock feather is also called a Chandra. He's also a Chandramoli. He has a Chandra here. He said, no, we're going to worship Gauripati, the husband of Gauri. Madhu says, are you not all Gauri? Are you not all very fair complexioned gopis? Purnamasi Devi, she said to her grandson, she said, are you saying that Krishna is married to all of these? Have you forgotten that later we'll meet together in the village? The gopi said, no, we're going to worship Pashupati. That means the Lord of the Passion is helpless animals. They're helpless beings. But Pashu can also mean animal like cows. I don't understand. He is also Pashupati. He's taking 9 lakhs cows every day out into the forest. So then Krishna said, look, this is enough arguing. I want to see what you have in those pots. What do you have there in those pots? So then Radharani said to the Sakhis, okay, show him. So then Krishna walked and he was looking. And he put his hand in the pots and took something out and showed it to Madhavama. Madhavama said, it's Kasturi. Yes, it's Kasturi. Yeah. You know, in customs they always have to check everything. I remember once I was going through customs in, where was it? Dubai. So I had, in my bag, I had some tamarind for cleaning my deities, you know? The tamarind is very nice to massage deities with tamarind and they're very shining. So I had some tamarind for cleaning my deities and it was a small brown block wrapped up in some cellophane. And so they arrested me. They said, no, this person's trying to smuggle drugs. You know, so it's like, in these countries it's the death penalty, you know. So I have to call my supervisor. So then the supervisor came. I said, look, it's tamarind. So then the supervisor came and picked it. Yeah, it's tamarind, let him go. So the customs, they're very, very careful. So Krishna's going around and looking in all the pots one by one. He dug his hand in, held it up. Madhavama came to check. Make sure. This is powder. Red. Yeah, this is kumkum. Like this. And he was touching each one. The Sakis were complaining. If this cowherd boy, who's running around in the jungle all the time, touching animals, touches all these ingredients, we won't be able to offer them to Lord Shiva. He'll contaminate everything. So then the gopi said, look, you can take all of these things. We'll go home and we'll get some more. You just take them all, that's it. You've taken the flowers, you've taken all our pots, that's it. With the fine, we paid our fine, we're going. Krishna said, no. And walked right up to Radharani and said, what have you paid? She wasn't carrying anything. All the Sakis, they paid. I said, but what have you paid? You also have to pay a fine. Now listen carefully to the fine. This is the law here. You have to pay me 1 gold lotus flower, 2 blue lotus flowers, 1 ruby jewel case with 2 strings of pearls inside, and also 2 large golden kalashis. But then all gopis are trying to hide their smiles. 1 golden lotus flower means Radhika's face. 2 blue lotus flowers means 2 eyes. 1 ruby jewel case means the lips, because jewel case opens. And inside, 2 strings of pearls. And this is the tax that Radhika has to give to Krishna. So then Lalita, she became very aggressive. She walked right up to Krishna and said, who are you? Who do you think you are? Krishna said, I am Madhav. Yeah? Said, oh really? Madhav, one meaning of Madhav is the husband of the goddess of fortune. Another meaning of Madhav is, it's a name for the 2nd month of spring. It's like April, May. So Lalita said, oh, you're the 2nd month of spring, are you? Krishna said, no. I am Govardhan-dhara. Govardhan-dhara means one who holds Govardhan. Then Lalita said, then we'll never associate with such a sinful person as you, if you are Govardhan-dhara. Go means cows, Vardhan means increasing. So Govardhan means that mountain which nourishes, increases the cows, increases their weight because they eat all the grass there, increases their numbers as well. And Go can also mean Gopi. Go can also mean Gopi as well. Govardhan, who increases the numbers of gopis. So when you go to Govardhan, say, oh, you are Govardhan, please increase the number of gopis by 1. He said, I will pray to Govardhan. One more gopi, please. So, but another meaning of Vardhan also means violence. So Govardhan, one who commits violence against cows. So Lalita said, we will never associate with you. You are Govardhan, Dari. You commit violence against cows. So then Subal said, why are you criticizing my friend, saying that he's sinful and committing violence? Don't you know, just the sound of his name, Krishna, and all sins fly away. But you are very sinful. Radhika is very simple. Radhika has committed the Pancha Mahapataka. You know? In Vedic culture there are the five greatest sins. Pancha Mahapataka. The five greatest sins are first Brahmahatya, killing a Brahman. The second of the Mahapatakas, Pataka means that which makes you fall down. The second of the Mahapatakas is the Surapana, intoxication. Surapana, intoxication. The third one is the Suvarna Steha, stealing gold from someone. The fourth one is Guru Talpagaman or Guru Patni Sangha. It means to seduce the wife of any senior person in society. Because actually to insult a senior is very, very bad. But the greatest insult would be to seduce the wife of some senior person. So this is called Mahapataka. Guru Patni Sangha. And then the last one is Mahapataki Samyog. To associate with any of these sinful and lusty persons. To associate with Kam. That means to associate with Kam. So Subal said, you say that my friend is sinful, but look at you. Radharani is guilty of the Pancha Mahapataka. Why? First, Brahmahatya. She committed violence against the Brahman. How? With her face. Because her face is so beautiful that it's as if it commits violence against the moon. And Chandra, Somadev, is called the king of Brahmins. So the moon is called the king of Brahmins. So you have done Brahmahatya because your face commits violence against the moon. You have done Surapan, intoxication. Why? Because Radharani, even though she's acting as if she is against Krishna, but she is completely intoxicated by drinking the beauty of Krishna. And you have also done Suvarnasteya, stealing gold. Here means Suvarnasteya means stealing from gold. You have stolen the luster of molten gold. Tapta Kanchana Gaurani. And you have done the Guru Patni Sangha. Sangha means association. But Sangha can also mean Samyak Rupa in Brahman. It means the union, loving union. So here, you've done Guru Patni Sangha. Why? Because in Vedic culture, the Brahmins are the gurus of the other castes. And so the wife of a Brahmin is Purnamasi Devi. Right? And so he said, you're always associating with this Purnamasi, so you did Guru Patni Sangha. So 4 Mahapatakas you have done. And the last one, associating with Kam. You have done that as well. The meaning here is that, the inner meaning, the Dwani, is that you are associating with Kam, is that everything that you are doing, from the start of the eyes, trying to drive away the bumblebee, to your refusing to give any flowers, to arguing with Krishna, and so everything that you're doing is just flirting. It's all flirting. So you're associating with Kam. So then, Subal said to Krishna, hey Krishna, if someone wants to collect a tax, you cannot do it unless you're very aggressive. So Krishna immediately approached and tried to grab Radharani. Krishna came to grab Radharani, and as he came, then Purnamasi stepped between them. And just as Purnamasi stepped between them, then Radharani disappeared. And Purnamasi disappeared. And then all the devotees just saw on the stage Nityananda Prabhu dancing and chanting the holy name. So, the narrators, those who are watching the character of love and friendship, they're discussing with each other. But what is this? This drama is not following the rules. Because the drama just suddenly came to an end. But what about all the Mukhya Sandhi and the Pratimukha Sandhi and Garbha Sandhi, Vimarsha Sandhi, Nivarana Sandhi? It's not following the rules. Love personified said that the sweetness of this pastime had come to such an extent. Yogamaya considered it was enough. For this moment, it was enough. And so, Yogamaya Devi, who had entered into Nityananda Prabhu, disappeared, and then they saw only Nityananda Prabhu was left. Just like the example is given, if you heat water, you make it boil, but then you put it off the fire. Though the water was bubbling, a few moments, then it goes back to its original nature. So Nityananda Prabhu, who was filled with the spirit of Purnamasi Devi, he went back to his nature of dancing. But that Radharani disappeared, that is Mahaprabhu. So then the narrator, friendship personified, said, but where is the form of Mahaprabhu now? Where's the form of Mahaprabhu? So then they heard a voice saying, a sannyasi! A sannyasi! A sannyasi! And then that act ends. Now, the question is, why isn't it following the stages of the drama? Because this is actually a drama within a drama. It's Gaura. So it is following the stages of the drama. In the next scene, Nimai Pandit approaches his mother Sachi. And he bows down at her feet. And Sachi Mata takes him in her arms and smells his head. These are the anubhavs of Vatsalya Ras, parental love. Sachi Mata is holding his hand. She says, "Oh my son, tell me, why were you serving with so much devotion that sannyasi yesterday who came to visit you, Keshava Bharati?" So it's not, you hear sannyasi, you think that Mahaprabhu has become a sannyasi. It's a dramatic trick. Where is the form of Mahaprabhu now? Then you hear the voice say, sannyasi, sannyasi. But actually it wasn't. Keshava Bharati had come to visit Mayapur. And the Nimai Pandit was very humbly bowing down and serving him. So then his mother's asking him. It was just, he hasn't taken sannyasa, but it's just to give a shock to the heart of the audience. These are the devices in the drama. So, Sachimata said, "Oh my boy, please tell me, why were you serving that sannyasi so much, with so much devotion yesterday?" Nimai said, "Oh mother, because she's a great Vaishnava, and great Vaishnavas should be served, you know that very well." Then Sachimata said, "Tell me the truth. You're not going to take sannyas, are you?" "No, mother." "No. I want to tell you something," Sachimata said. "Vishwarup gave me a book to give to you. But one day while I was cooking, I threw the book in the fire. Because previously Vishwarup had come to me with this book and said, 'Oh mother, when my younger brother Nimai in the future becomes a very learned scholar, please give him this book.' So I took the book and I wrapped it up and I protected it. I kept it very safely. Until the day Vishwarup took sannyas. And when he left, then I went and I got that book and I threw it in the fire. I said, oh mother, even though you are very learned, due to love for your son, you've done a foolish thing. Now I will not know what was in that book. But Sachimata was thinking, whatever he learned from this book, this is why he took sannyas. I am not going to give it to my other son. Nimai said, mother, I am going to go traveling for some time. To give happiness to you and to all our relatives, I want to search out Vishwarup, where he's gone. Sachimata said, you don't have to do anything to give happiness to us. You are our happiness. Just stay here. Nimai said, oh mother, Krishna is our mother, Krishna is our father, Krishna is our son, Krishna is our everything. If one will simply remember Krishna in his heart, then Krishna is with that person and they'll always feel happiness. Sachimata says, you are my Krishna. So sweet, those are in Maya, those are strong attachments. Sometimes I hear people say, oh my kid, my children, they're my God, or they're my Krishna. So like this, but actually in this case it's actually true. The irony of the legally sold, the relational. He said, you are my Krishna. No need to go anywhere. Anyway, now it's noontime. You should go to the Ganga, take a bath and do your duties. I have to go now. And then he gave pranam to his man. He went away. So, what is this? This is the third and fourth act of Chandradvaya Nataka. So, if there are 5 parts, and there are two acts in each part, then this will be the bindu. This will be the stage in the drama you can see here. It will be the stage where the bindu meets with the prayatna, the endeavor. So that means that in the earlier part of the drama, the audience will become acquainted with the bij. That is the seed of desire which is driving the hero through the drama. So for Gaura Leela, what is the bij? Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kittishovanayeva. That Krishna in the form of Mahaprabhu wants to realize the greatness of Radharani's love. So then, this bij, as the drama progresses, some drops have to be put on it that make it grow intensely. So, even though it seems that this drama within the drama didn't follow the rules, but actually it was following the rules. Why? Because Mahaprabhu, experiencing the joy of being Radhika, accosted by Krishna in the forest, and him demanding tax from her, that is the bindu. His experience of that was the bindu that watered his desire to more intensely experience Radha Bhava. So then the bindu will result in the prayatna. So what prayatna did? That means the yatna, the endeavors, in order to fulfill that desire. So what did Mahaprabhu do? He went to Keshav Bharati. So then the introduction of his relationship with Keshav Bharati is coming. So you understand, I'm trying to express that the drama within the drama did not exactly follow the rules of Natakam, but within the context of the Natakam that it is, it's playing the role of the bindu to water the seed of Mahaprabhu's desire, which is followed by the intense prayatna in the form of him taking sannyas. And so on. Okay, thank you, Tom. We didn't get to Jagannath Puri yet, we're still in Lalita-Madhava. Okay, so now the prayatna, the endeavor of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, and that is manifest in the form of his taking sannyas. And as you know, after sannyas, then Mahaprabhu goes to Jagannath Puri. So in Jagannath Puri, when he was staying there, Srila Rupa Goswami had been in Vrindavan. And as he was traveling on his way to Puri, he got to a village named Satyabhamapur. at night he had a dream, and in a dream he saw a beautiful goddess. And she said to him, write a separate drama about me, and by my blessing it will be exquisitely beautiful. So then Rupa Goswami woke up and he realized that he was writing one drama. But this drama was the Vrindavan Lila, Mathura Lila and Dwarka Lila all in one drama. But now Satyabhama herself had come to him in a dream and said, make this into 2 parts. So then it became, first Vidagdha-Madhava is fully in Vrindavan. Then Lalita-Madhava, it begins in Vrindavan, but very early in the drama it goes to Mathura and finally Dwarka, and in the end back to Vrindavan. So when Rupa Goswami arrived in Jagannath Puri, he used to stay with Srila Haridas Thakur at that place we know as Siddha Bakul now. And every day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his associates, they used to come to visit Srila Haridas Thakur and sit down together. Saurabh Damodar, Rai Ramananda, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all the very heavyweights, Kavis, very great poets. And poets in society, poets are very, very highly respected. This is why Mahaprabhu said, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam bhata gadishu kame. Someone mentioned yesterday, kavitam bhata means, I don't want beautiful poetry. This is not correct. Mahaprabhu never said, I don't want beautiful poetry. If he doesn't want beautiful poetry, why is he staying in the Gambhira all night with Saurabh Damodar and Rai Ramananda asking them to recite their poetry? That's not what the verse said. It says kavitam, not kavyam. Kavyam means poetry. Kavitam means the quality of yourself being a poet. You see? So, someone may say, I don't want $1 million, I don't want a huge house, and I don't want to be a great Hollywood celebrity or something like that. So Mahaprabhu is saying, Nadanam means I don't want money. Najanam means I don't want progeny. That means that I have a dynasty. So in Vedic culture it's very strong desire that your dynasty should be famous. So Nadanam, Najanam. Nasundarim Kavitam means I don't want to be a great poet, because all the intelligentsia in India, they study Kavya so much and they worship Saraswati, like Keshav Kashmiri, and they worship Saraswati praying, bless me that I can become learned in all the grammar and Kavya and poetry. So Mahaprabhu said, I don't want that. Because if someone is expert in that, then they become very famous and wealthy. All the other things come with it. So don't think that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I don't want beautiful poetry. He wants very much. He just doesn't have this material desire to become famous as the literati. So, all the great literati are sitting there in Siddha Bakul, and Ramananda Rai came to Rupa and said, oh, what are you writing? Can you tell me? What is the Nandi Shlok? How did you introduce your drama? So Rupa Goswami is reading from his poetry. He said, Nandi Shlok, that is the Mangala Charan, the auspicious invocation of a drama. So it can be of 3 types. It may be Ashivadaatmak, that means giving a blessing to the audience. It may be the Namaskriatmak, bowing down to the Ishtadev. Or it may be Vastu Nideshatmak, that is defining what is the subject matter. So, in the Nandi Shlok, it said, he's giving a blessing, Ashivadaatmak, to all the readers or the heroes of the drama. Rupa Goswami said, may the moonshine of Sri Krishna bestow auspiciousness on you all. That moonshine of Krishna's glories, it gives pain to the lotus faces of the wives of the demons and to their breasts, which are like chakravak birds. But it gives joy to the devotees who are like chakoras. So it's very beautiful kavi here. Krishna's glories is compared to moonshine. And moonshine just is considered just the mention of the moon in the introduction to a drama. In the introduction you should always mention certain things. Moons, lotuses, conch shells, swans, and there are different auspicious substances. They have to be hidden somewhere within your introduction to anything, any drama or poetry. So here, Krishna's fame is called the moonshine. And the moonshine has two effects. First it said that the wives of the demons, their faces are like lotus flowers. So when the moon rises, then the kamal, the lotus flower, opens in the day. So when the moon rises, it closes at night. So because Krishna, it's implying here that because Krishna destroys the demons, so then the lotus faces of their wives wither. And the breasts of the demons' wives, they're compared to chakravark birds. Because chakravark birds are golden and they're very round, and especially because they meet with their beloveds in the daytime, and at night when the moon rises, then they're separated and they cry all night. So here Krishna's glories are considered to be like moonshine, because they're giving pain to the breast of the wives of the demons. That means they're crying all night because now they're like Asti and Bhakti, the wives of Kamsa Maharaj. They were crying. They went back to their father, Jarasandha, after Krishna killed Kamsa Maharaj. So that's the effect of the moonshine of Krishna's glories on the demons. But for the devotees are chakora. So the chakora is a bird that only subsists by drinking moonbeams. So the devotees are like that. So first he gives Ashirvadatmaka. So Rai Ramananda and Swarup Damodar, they're asking Rupa Goswami, please tell us about the different parts of your drama. I've only got about 30 seconds left and about 5 hours of material. It's a big problem. Okay, so I have to invite everyone, please come to Ticino. Tomorrow we're going to the Krishna Chandra's ashram in Ticino for another 6 days of Katha, all day, morning and evening in Ticino. So if you're free next week, then just pack a light bag and your hiking shoes and climb up the mountain and join us there. But the ashram will be completely full, so only camping. So if you have tents, there's room for camping, plenty of room for camping. But there's no luxury attached bathroom soon. Sorry about that. So, just to briefly cover one topic, can you roll over to the Sandhyangas? So I want to just speak very briefly, just to give some idea about the Sandhyangas. Each part of a drama has limbs, and these limbs make sure that the pace of the drama is progressing nicely. So it should not just be very obvious right in your face what the desire is, the main desire of the hero at first. It should be introduced slowly and then gradually strengthened and strengthened. And sometimes it should be interrupted and then it should be brought back into focus again. So the first anga is called the Upakshipa. So it means it's just a presentation of the desire of the hero. Just an introduction to that. So then after that the next one is called Parikar or Parikar. And it means that there should be some statements that amplify the desire of the hero. And then Parinyas means then it becomes established. So that's usually that the hints about the desire of the hero were coming from other people. But when you come to this stage, then the hero, you hear from his own mouth what his desire is, the hero or the heroine. And so then it becomes very, very firmly established. So then the next stage is called Vilobana. And Vilobana, we usually mean that some characters are discussing the quality of the hero and the quality of the heroine vilobana means that which increases greed. So now they're hearing about each other's qualities and their desires, everything is intensifying more and more. So then there should be a conversation. The next anga is called yukti. So there should be some conversation in which there's some logic, some reason which is supporting or validating or justifying the desire. So for example, in Vidagdha-Madhava, there's a conversation with Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda's saying, you know, all these beautiful girls of Braja, they're so, she's speaking with Purnamasi, they're so charming, they're so attractive. Lalita and Chandravali and Vishaka and Madra and Radha. But even they're all so qualified. But there's only one who really has stolen my heart. And that is Radhika. So in this way, the justification, why is it that there are so many gopis but the hero is just day and night fixated on one? So some type of presentation like that should come. So then, for example, the 8th anga is called Vidhan. Vidhan means there should be a conflict of feelings. So this is used in drama because sometimes someone is writing a drama and it's not very realistic. It's all rainbows and unicorns. So, but real life isn't like that. Real life has situations where happiness is mixed with distress. So then there should be a scene where one of the characters is attaining something that makes them happy, but at the same time they're feeling distress. And then that will lend realism. It will make the drama feel very real to the audience. Rupa Goswami gives an example that after Radha and Krishna have been meeting together, Radharani goes to Surya Kund, and then she's there to do the puja, and then one Brahmin comes there, one Brahmin boy, and she sees him, and she's just attracted, and she starts criticizing herself to her Sakis. I should just die at once. Why is my heart attracted to this Brahmin? Alas, alas. And then the Sakis tell her, I think it's actually not a Brahmin. And then she realizes. So she has this mixture of first distress and then happiness, and then she has to hide her happiness in the presence of the mother-in-law. So then the next one is Paribhavana. There should be a surprise. Udbhed. Udbhed means disclosure. That means that one of the characters starts to show some secret in their heart. And the Udbhed is considered to be like that the seed of the drama has been cracked open and the inner part is coming out. So Rupa Goswami gives an example where Radharani, she admits to her friends, she said, as long as I don't see that handsome boy before me, I am afraid of my elders and I am concerned about the glory of my father's dynasty. See, so in Vedic culture, everyone feels a very strong, it's called the Kula Gaurav. Kula Gaurav, it means the prestige of your dynasty. That each generation feels this stress on themselves that my forefathers have a big reputation and I have to uphold it or even increase it. If I can't increase it, at least I can just hold it up. That's called Kula Gaurava. So everyone feels that in Vedic society, and especially Radharani being a princess, being the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So she said that she feels this Kula Gaurav and also fear of what elders in society might say. But she admits to her Sakis, as long as I don't see that charming boy, then I feel this fear of my elders and I'm concerned with Kula Gaurav. It means that as soon as she sees him, all of this goes out of the window. So it means that her love has come to a state of, it's like suicidal. Because for a sati, a Kulavati Sri, a chaste lady who's honored in Vedic society, only if someone will speak a rumor that you're not chaste is worse than death. So for Radhika to admit that to her friends is already, that means she's far, far gone. So that's considered an example of Udbait, that now the seed of the drama has been cracked open and you can look inside and you know what's going on. So then the next one is called Bait, Karan. I'll not explain anymore. I just wanted to give some examples so that in principle, how you can see that Rupa Goswami is giving, according to the classical tradition, a template, so that you can take your well-known story that you want to present and then put this template on it and then see exactly step by step how you present the story in such a way that the audience, they'll be captivated, they'll be gripped right from the first moment, and that the action will move quickly, that they'll not get bored, and it will be realistic as well. And the rasa will develop in such a way that it will have maximum impact. And so, just to complete, that our Goswamis, they have explained all of these things to help us, to invite us into their world. That will become absorbed into their world. So, and we're also discussing this, why? That is, by this discussion, then samskar comes. The main problem in our spiritual life is the lack of samskars. Actually, why did Rupa Goswami make Ujjwala Nilamani separate from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is the ocean of rasa. An ocean is full of jewels. But why didn't he in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describe the jewel, Ujjwala Nilamani? Why did he make it? And apparently, it's not a separate book, but he made it apparently separately. So he said, the reason is because many persons, they're very dedicated to Vaidhi Bhakti. And they think that if they do this, that this is the best. And if they're going to neglect some rules for the sake of following Raga Marg, they can't do this. So because of this strong adherence to Maryada, outwardly and inwardly, so they're not qualified for Raganuga Bhakti. This is one reason. Then, another reason, those who come into Raganuga Bhakti, there are many different moods. There's the Dasiras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras. And so, there are very few who take exclusive shelter of Madhurya Rasa. They are very few. And then the third reason he made it separate is, among those who don't have strong sanskar for the Maryadamayi Bhakti, for Vaidhi Bhakti, and who have taken exclusive shelter of Madhurya Rasa, but there are very few who have sufficient samskars, impressions, in order to taste it. So how do those impressions come? Last night I mentioned, Anasritya Brindatavi Tatpadankam Asambhasya Tat Bhava Gabhira Chitam Kuta Shama Sindura Sasyabhagaha. Unless we come together, Srimad Bhagavatarkanam Asvado Rasikai Saha, with the Rasik Vaishnavas, and taste the deep meaning of each word of the Kavya, the poetry of Srimad Bhagavatam. All the dhwanis, the hidden meanings of the Kavya, the poetry of our Goswamis. Unless we do this, then the samskars, to be able to, those samskars actually make your own beach. Those samskars, to be able to relish the Madhurya Rasa, they will not come. So this is very important. So through the discussion of the drama and so on, and the Rasa Samagris, Rupa Goswami and our Acharyas are giving us the sanskars, empowering us with the tools, with the lens of interpretation, by which any time you pick up Srimad Bhagavatam, any time you pick up Stavamala or Stavavadi, or the poems of Vishnu Thakur, and then even if you didn't hear it before, but you'll see all the alankars, all the dhwanis, and the rasa samagris which are there in the poetry, and relish it. If one has developed that beach through Rasik Vaishnav Sangha. Srila Rupa Goswami Pada Ki Jai, Gaur Premanand.